Pork tenderloin is the star of the show today. It's versatile, it's inexpensive, and it's gonna make for some flavorful dinners. This is a protein I think we don't buy enough of. They're always on sale, but even if they're not on sale, they're inexpensive. You're talking about 13 bucks to feed your family. I'm starting with pork spadini. This is a dish that I made with chicken. It went viral on social. Haven't made it in a while. I thought pork tenderloin would be the perfect vessel to create the same dish. This is a lemon garlic butter spadini. Spadini is a classic Italian dish that is meat that has been coated in delicious breadcrumbs and cheese and then threaded onto a skewer and then cooked. Usually it is done on a grill or in a skillet. Cooking these in the air fryer. Cooks quickly, perfectly, still gets crispy on the outside. They usually come packed like this, where there are 2 in a pack. I definitely don't prefer the pre-marinated ones. It just kind of like changes the texture of the meat. There's just a lot more to do with your pork tenderloin than just simply throw it on the grill or in the oven. First thing you want to do is just remove the silver skin. It's just a little bit of a tough area on the pork tenderloin. And you just want to take a knife, super thin, and kind of point it upwards and just go just under that skin. I'm going to slice these pork tenderloin into more like kind of bite-sized pieces. I remember when I made this for the first time, I'm like, I've been Italian my whole life and no one has ever told me about this. Like, why has my mom not made these before? I love this recipe because it's really just the something different you can do with something you cook all the time. As a matter of fact, all these recipes I'm giving you today are you're like, huh, I didn't know pork tenderloin was so versatile. It is. So we're just making a light little quick marinade. Extra virgin olive oil and a little white wine, the zest and juice of a lemon. And then we're gonna highlight the lemon later by making a garlic butter to drizzle over. And it has the acid from the lemon and the wine, so this is not a long marinade. It's not something you wanna do the night before. It's gonna kind of start cooking that meat. So this is just about 30 minutes to an hour. It's the perfect thing to kind of get going while you prep everything else for dinner. Now for some flavorings, some garlic, crushed red pepper, a little oregano, and then salt and pepper. I'd like to think you have all these things on hand, so all you really have to buy is the pork. All right, then we're just gonna toss the pork into there and let it go for about half an hour. It does not take long. This pork is cut small, super tender. It does not take long for it to absorb these good flavors. Just like to cover it and then keep it in the fridge while it marinates. Now for the fun. Skewers. Spadini means something about being on a stick. I'm gonna bread these in a combination of breadcrumbs and grated Parmesan cheese. I'm doing equal parts panko and Italian breadcrumbs because I like the crunch that the panko gives, but the flavor of the Italian. I'm also gonna add in a little garlic powder just to kind of heighten that garlic experience. And that's citrus. You can already see how it's kind of like started to cook the outside surface of the meat. And you're just gonna coat it in this breadcrumb. This is also creating a coating to where that sauce at the end is really gonna stick to it. And then take your skewers, and you can kind of like fold it over to fit, or even kind of roll it. You could do this part ahead of time as long as it's not sitting in that marinade for too long. You could prep this part and then leave them in the fridge until you're ready. Just gonna give them a little spritz with some oil spray, just so they get extra crispy. You can go about 390 or 400, and you're gonna go about 10 to 12 minutes. All right, for the sauce, we're doing lemon garlic butter. So I've got 4 tablespoons of butter melted. Gotta go in with a little more garlic. I like using the garlic press because it really gets it finely minced and you don't want like a big chunk of garlic in there. A little more lemon juice, a pinch of salt, some parsley. All right, look at these. Beautiful. That's something else, I tell you what. Smells so good. I mean, you just took a simple, humble pork tenderloin and turned it into something real fancy. All right, you take these delicious skewers and then drizzle them with that garlic butter. Yo. To turn this into a complete dinner, I like to serve it with something to absorb that delicious garlic butter. And a salad, and your skewer, and your garlic butter. You've never had pork tenderloin like this before. I'm going straight in without even a fork. So tender, so flavorful. Quite possibly the best bite of pork tenderloin I've ever had. We started off with one so good, it's gonna be hard to beat, but I'm gonna try. Breaking out the crock pot for this next one, Havana slow cooker pork tenderloin. Pork tenderloin actually does very well in the slow cooker. Now, just like chicken, you can overcook it to where it's like beef jerky, but we're not gonna do that. It's going to be tender, it's gonna kind of shred, fall apart. That's what we're looking for. With this pork tenderloin, we are going to make Cuban style bowls. So rice, black beans, a lot of flavor going on. My mouth's already watering. I'm just gonna stick these right on in. You know, when you're thinking about Cuban style anything, it always has that fresh citrus in there. My favorite part. So I've got some fresh orange juice. Gonna do about half a cup. Fresh is best here, guys. Also the juice of a lemon, a little bit of red wine vinegar, some cumin, adds that kind of smoky earthiness. This recipe calls for some steak seasoning. Why not? A little bit of heat, so cayenne, salt and pepper, and then lots of garlic. Toss this all together. Add in some bay leaves. And then it says to put in some lemon peel, a little onion sliced up, thrown on top. That's gonna be my favorite part. That's it. Now it just goes low and slow until it's very tender. Oh, don't dare. Y'all get mad when I lock that lid. Look at that juicy deliciousness. I wish you could smell it. I'm just gonna give a little taste. Oh yeah, falls apart. That's incredible. I'm gonna do some cilantro lime rice. Remember we have that bright citrus in there, the lemon and the orange, and that's just gonna go perfectly. And of course some good like Cuban style black beans. Good and creamy. Gosh, this is gonna be dinner tonight. I'm just gonna put this here and then kind of shred it up. Look at that. It's so tender and it's so juicy. See, it's like people just think you should just slice up pork tenderloin and serve it that way. It shreds beautifully when slow cooked. Get some of these good juices. This right here is like some liquid gold in here. I'm also taking some of the cooked onions because I like that. You can top it however you want. I'm gonna go some cilantro and some avocado. I like to get a bunch of textures in there, so I like to add this little creaminess. You've got the richness from the pork and the creaminess from the black beans. Throw on some pickled red onion. It's gonna be the perfect complement. I mean, that looks like a beautiful restaurant quality meal. I am real excited about this one. It's just that something different. It's like we do burrito bowls and tacos with similar ingredients, but different flavors. Just switching out the main flavors makes such a big difference. It's like a whole different experience. And treating a pork tenderloin in a new and different way like this, where you just set it and then shred it, genius. This next one is in the Greatest Hits collection, and this is the air fryer pork tenderloin. If you have not marinated and air fried your pork tenderloin, what are you doing?